Again, as far as another example of racism is when you have guys that go and just shoot animals down for fun, not for food or for clothing to keep themselves and their family warm, right? Or again, to hunt so they can survive and feed themselves and their families, but hunt just for game, hunt for fun, right? Shooting like moose or deer, bears, and then after they kill it and clean it or whatever, then they stuff their heads and put it on their wall, right? Which is quite senseless. Now that's an example of racism. Believing that um, living creatures have no right to live on this planet, right? And going back to white supremacy, um, you know, um, years ago, this was after 1975. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Imam Wallace D. Muhammad, or Imam Wallace D. Muhammad Rahimullah, he came together with this group called CRADE. And CRADE stands for the Committee for the Removal Against Images That Portray Divine. Okay. And what this was about, this was actually an interfaith organization, mind you. So it wasn't just exclusive to Muslims in general, or particularly Muslims who follow Imam Warathdin Muhammad. This also included even non-Muslims to get involved, Christians and Jews and other people, right? But the goal was to call on all houses of worship, especially the churches, because the churches were known and still known to have images in their churches. Call them to put their images down, because imagery is what has set the root for white supremacy in general and ethnocentrism and nationalism in particular. And if you go and study, like, go to the Catholic Encyclopedia, for instance, you would go and research a man by the name of Saint Basil or Saint Basil. That's Basil, right? The big cathedral in Moscow is named after him. But Saint Basil was a man who actually was the one who emphasized implementing imagery in worship. And the excuse is, and you would also read a you would also read similar information on this from another priest who was canonized as a saint by the name of Saint Thomas Aquinas, right? These two men actually emphasized imagery because their excuse is you have people, especially in Europe, who were illiterate, could not read or write. And so images is a way to, to get them to understand the concept of worship. But still, that is a total violation of the 600 and some commandments that they were supposed to follow. I know that Christians claim that, they're not obligated to follow the law, because, following Isa alayhi salam, or so-called Jesus Christ, they're not no longer obligated to follow law because they follow the New Testament. But they should go back and read Matthew, where he said, I did not come to abolish the law, I came to fulfill the law. And whoever breaks the law is going to be in the least in the kingdom, and whoever upholds the law will be the highest in the kingdom. But anyway, if you look at the first two of those commandments in Exodus, first of all, it says, God said to Musa alayhi salam, or Moses, peace be upon him, thou shalt not have any other gods besides me. And second, it says, thou shalt not bear any graven images. You should not have any images of me. And, in Islam, we practice these things to the T, right? So anytime you say that God came in the form of a man, in a human being, and then you put an image of that man, you claim he's Isa alayhi salam, you claim he's so-called Jesus Christ, and then you paint him in a Eurocentric image, along with all the people, other prophets and people surrounding him. You put this man on the cross. And that has given birth even to white supremacy, as to why people of color hate themselves. I mentioned on part 2, about, colorism, right? And so Imam W.D. Muhammad and his men and people who were part of the Cray Committee, they were marching in front of different churches, calling on churches to remove the imagery and pictures. And for the most part, mashallah, it was quite successful. I remember when I was very small, I was real little, and the church that I grew up attending, I remember they had a big portrait of this European man who they claimed to be Isa alayhi salam. And they had it on the wall behind the pulpit, right? And I know that shortly after that, it was gone. And I think it was because of the local efforts by Craig, because they were calling all churches to remove, and how this would have a devastating psychological effect on human beings, especially when it comes to feeling superior or feeling inferior, right, due to skin color. So basically, that's all I have to say on this topic. If you like these videos, please give them a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and peace to everyone else.